name is Amanda Shirelli. I am now 39 years old. I was born with a developmental disability called cerebral palsy, which led me to be confined to now a power wheelchair in my adulthood. Americans with Disabilities Act means a lot to me. I mean, prior to the Americans with Disabilities Act being signed in 1990, people like myself were not included in school systems. You would often see a lot of us being homeschooled and not being a part of the school system. So the Americans with Disabilities Act kind of just made us a part of the everyday society. Now, fast forward to 2024, you see a lot of us, people with disabilities, getting college degrees and having a life for themselves. They're shown differently. They're not being institutionalized. They're not being put away. And people like Ed Roberts and Judy Newman were a major part of that. They are actually two people that made me want to get into advocacy that I'm doing today. So the ADA just opened the door for a lot of people with disabilities to be a part of everyday society. And yes, we do have a long way to go still. We still have a lot of work to do with transportation, and our personal assistance services are not up to par the way they should be. But it's people like me that will help pave the way for other advocates to join the group, and that you often hear in advocacy, nothing about us without us. My work as an advocate at Motion Center for Independent Living, it benefits from the ADA because you watch documentaries like Crip Camp and you learn the history of the ADA. And what I honestly, before I got involved in advocacy, I didn't know about people like Ed Roberts and Jude Newman who paved the way for people like me to be a part of society. So you start learning, like, it's not just about like telling your story about living with a disability. It's about helping others. Advocacy is not just about you. It's about helping others around you, and trying to make a better life for people like myself. And that's really what the ADA has helped with. It taught me the history of the ADA. I really didn't know. I mean, I knew that it got signed in 1990 and I knew that it opened a lot of doors. But before I started working in the field that I'm in, I really didn't know really the history of it all. So you kind of just start to learn like why it's important and why other people with disabilities need to know where they came from. And I will often tell people that are newly to being disabled, or if they're young and they're disabled and they're not really sure about the history of themselves, I always tell, if they can't educate themselves, I tell the parents to educate themselves about the ADA and where we came from and the laws that we have, and what we really need to work on, because that's so important. The step, I believe, is do what do the best you can, share your story. Um, if there's people willing to hear your story about living with a disability, don't be afraid to share it. Don't be afraid to educate others about disability, because even if someone's around a person with a disability, everybody has their own story to tell. I might be born, I'm born with CP, but I have my own story to tell, and I might have a friend that's born with a whole different diagnosis that views disability in a different way and had different experiences growing up. So everybody has their own story to tell, and don't be afraid to share it.